What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to do O.M.A.C. issue number 3 from DC Comics, made by Dan DIDIO, GIFFEN, and Scott KOBLISH. We're going to continue the series, so let's dive in. I really like this series so far. I mean, the art is good, the story is fun. It has a lot of science fiction elements, a lot of fantasy, and in this comic there's a lot of that too. And the art and the colors are great as well, in my opinion, of course. So we see here our hero, Kevin Co. I know he wants to get some money, but he doesn't have some kind of a pass or how do you say, credit card. So he speaks with Brother I, and Brother I gives him a bunch of money, and he says, "See, no need to thank me," says Brother I. "Are you nuts? That's not the way it works. People might get the wrong idea." And yes, out of nowhere, the police comes and he says, "No, it's just not my fault that the machine was spending money. And let me pick up the cash. It's all a big mistake." And then he gets zapped. So the other one says, "Hey, why did you do that?" Right? He says, "The boy's a terrorist. He's lucky I didn't put a bullet in him. He doesn't seem much like a terrorist. Heh, the dangerous ones never do. But if he's on top of the Homeland Security watch list, better to be safe than sorry." Well, you're right. And then he's trying to ring his I don't know, friend from work, Jody, right? And she's showering, and maybe it's his girlfriend. I'm not entirely sure. And so he says, "I'm in prison. There's been a huge mistake. I was arrested for robbing the ATM, but now they think I'm a terrorist." And before he can say anything, this cop guy just says, "Yeah, you're done." And she cannot phone him back. He says, can I call my lawyer? He straightened this out in no time. "You had your call, but you hung up before I got to say anything. Your problem, not mine. Now wait here until he's ready to see you." "Who's coming to see me? Is it the warden?" "The warden's been dead for over 2 months." "Then who's in charge? Tell me, why am I here?" he says. I'm curious as well. So then another guard, not a guard, another inmate says, right, that this place is a hell and needs to be careful. And he says, when the doc got here, he was supposed to study the most violent cases, try to find a way to control and suppress their urges. The warden didn't like that, what he was doing, and put a stop to it. Then the doc experimented on himself and put a stop to the warden. He was very excited when you got here, kept talking about meeting you. So he goes in, and then, this was the doctor. I'm not sure why he's in prison, but he's here. And he says, "Greetings, Kevin Co. Nice to see you to stop by. Forgive me if I don't get up, but this helmet is heavier than it looks." And he introduces to himself to as, I don't know, Professor Aros? I'm not sure. And it seems that their inmates call him the Psi-Fi Man, or like Psi-Fi, like that. And I find that rather endearing, don't you? But enough about me. Let's talk about you. So he senses that, he's part machine, part man. And, and that he is aware of Brother I. But then Kevin Co is transforming because Brother I is, activating him, right? I might pick this up because of Kenneth Rocafort. Kenneth is doing great stuff with this book on Indiegogo as well. He's now putting out the third book of Groken. Yeah, Groken. Look out for that. So, and Brother I wants to do something about that, and he's still in talks with Maxwell Lord, and he says, "Hey, Maxwell Lord, don't ever contact me again." So I'm breaking contact. And Maxwell Lord is sending, I don't know, his goons from Checkmate to, they found Kevin Co as well because they are picking up the signatures, right? So they are sending up his henchmen to go to the prison, right? And then it seems that Kevin is stuck in mid-transformation, and it's the Psi-Fi Man doing, right? And I guess you heard how I experimented on myself. Quite a success, don't you think? No, where were we? Oh, that's right. I froze you in mid-transformation so that I can enter your mind and share the experience. So he kind of goes into his mind. And then he looks around and he says, well, it's not impressive. I like the otherworldly circuitry, but that's it. But then Brother I comes in and says, I have been trying to contact you. I should have known you would contact me. I sense your power growing, Professor Rouse. It must be stopped. You're no threat to me. You're not even human. I take that as a compliment, right? And so Brother I says that Kevin has finished his transformation, and yeah, he grabs the doctor and punches him out of the room. Yeah, I put some light on because it's getting darker in here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I wanted to. Is this good? I don't know. I like the design of the costume, but I believe it was a failed project. Not entirely sure. Moving on. So O.M.A.C is transformed, and but the doctor is capable of handling himself, and he says, "You and Brother I share the bond, or have a bond. I can sense that, but I can make that bond mine. You will be a powerful addition to my ever-growing army." So Checkmate comes in, right? Wants to intervene, and there's some inmates looking at that one. Hey, what the hell are you doing here? And so this woman here is very aggressive, and she's called Maribel, and she's using ambient tech. Now, what is ambient tech? It's the latest innovation from Checkmate. Free-floating ions and particles transformed with a thought into weapons and machinery. Still in the development stage, only the bravest are willing to give it a try. I always like this kind of designs, like something is, moving in free air, weaponry that's not really finished, but in assembly stage, you you can see the machinery in it. And she's, I don't know, using some kind of a powerful cannon, I guess. And she says, hey, where's the main event? Where's the monster? Well, it seems that they are still battling here. And so Brother I says that the professor is more formidable as he fought, and he needs to be dealt with immediately before he gets to do much damage. So this small guy is, I don't know, conjuring up some light, I don't know, prison for O.M.A.C, and adds. So ambient tech. I did not realize Checkmate was that advanced on that, or that they could keep this from me a secret. The secret from me, he says. You should not have allowed them to form around you. Prepare for an energy surge. Right, so Brother I is still controlling him. So it's basically a mindless monster. So the head guy, the head honcho of this group is coming in and, using a lot of firepower on him, right? So Brother I says, stop them. And so he says, hey, how does it feel to get blasted by an EMP pulse? And bet that hurts the people's side of you too. Yeah, he's getting basically his ass kicked by all this, technology, and, with the professor too, who's now, I don't know, out of this comic, I guess, right? So the girl comes in, wants to take a shot as well, and they are keeping pressure on him, right? Reminds me a little of, the soldiers, with Talbot Ross. Is it Talbot Ross? Hunting the Hulk, with all this tech throwing at him at one point. Was great. Or superheroes, you know what? So he says, you all right? A little shaken, but fine. Nice job pissing him off. I have that way with men. Don't I know it? O.M.A.C, you need to focus on your attackers. He says, I can focus. That is unacceptable. You are my ultimate weapon, virtually unstoppable. I will not allow these Checkmate agents to defeat you. You are embarrassing me. What do you have to say about that? He's talking to him like he's a child. So he says, I say, shut up. And he's doing some kind of a, pouncing on the ground move, and right. And these guys are flying everywhere. Well, hey, look at that. Ethan van Skyver and Gail Simone working together on a book. Wow. That's something. Let's move on. These are sworn enemies, by the way. Now, not when they are working together, DC Comics, but now that's Ethan is doing his own stuff with Cyberfrog, and Gil Simone is doing I don't know what, but it's not good. Anyway, so Brother Eye opens up a some kind of teleportation device, and O.M.A.C is now disappearing again because he says, "It is clear Professor Rao's infusion and Checkmate's attack has affected you. Still, there was no reason to be rude. Maybe it's best for you to get home and get some rest. As for Checkmate, my eye will be on them." Blink, Brother Eye, that's cool. I also love the Kirby blots and the lighting effects. And so yeah, they are retreating basically, but he says, "Hey, where's this oversized brain?" Well, it seems that Dr. Rouse has some kind of a mental powers, and people see him as something different. And he says, "I need some time alone to plan. I must learn everything I can about Brother Eye and his construct, because when I do, O.M.A.C will be mine." So I hope he returns. He seems like an interesting character. Also, these characters from, Checkmate are cool as well, with their fancy gadgets and, machinery and technology. So more like an in-between book, I guess, moving the story a little bit forward, or not that too much. I still like it because the story is well done. It's fast-paced. And like I said, we're getting introduced to new people and new villains and, new plot points. I like that. So guys, let me know what you think about this comic. See you next time on the next one. Bye-bye.